Oh my god, what are we going to do about Braveheart? It's one of the most popular films in mainstream culture, I think. It certainly was at one time. Perhaps the kids don't know what it is anymore. I wouldn't know. In any instance, Braveheart now is, I think, considered one of the weaker mainstream recent Best Picture winners, let's say. I don't think a lot of ardent cinephiles, if you will, are all about Braveheart anymore. I think it's considered a bit of a corny film which has totally butchered history, according to historians. And, you know, at the time, apparently, in the English mainstream press, there were accusations of Anglophobia thrown toward this film. Perhaps the Yanks really liked the evocation of the Revolutionary War going on here. I don't think there ever was a major, critically acclaimed, successful film about the American Revolutionary War. I guess later on Mel Gibson was in The Patriot, but that was considered a lot, even more trashy than Braveheart. Perhaps better to some. I don't know. I think I saw bits of The Patriot on TV. I don't know if I was too impressed. It probably inspired that Assassin's Creed 3 stuff a bit later, along with Last of the Mohicans. Anyway, we're getting off topic. But Braveheart, I first watched Braveheart when I was 12 years old on television. I didn't get through all of it. I have to admit, a 12-year-old AOD was not that impressed with Braveheart. He just thought it was really predictable and obvious. And I think that's why people like Braveheart, though. I watch Braveheart again now, and it's likable to a point. I think the direction is fairly good. I also think that battle in the middle of the film, the Battle of Stirling Bridge, but there's no bridge, funnily enough, that's that's the only time I think the film lives up to its reputation as this vainglorious action epic. And it's impressive. And look, it sets the precedent for epics to come, like Gladiator and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Kingdom of Heaven, also by Ridley Scott, Gladiator, and many period pieces to come. Braveheart was the first film of its kind in probably quite some decades, maybe at least two. But it's not the kind of film which, like, who watches Braveheart now and thinks anything except, gee, this is a dated token of the 1990s and to some degree the 2000s, and people who thought the 21st century was just going to be some 2000s utopia forever, where you were just watching 20th century culture and just being like, life's good, just sitting in your living room watching this stuff, going to IMDb talking about it. That's that. No, I mean, that was garbage, let's be honest, but like, Braveheart. Where are we with Braveheart? Well, I didn't I didn't ignore it. As you may have noted, we've ignored 1994's Forrest Gump because I don't think Forrest Gump's that interesting. I liked Forrest Gump okay when I was like 12 or 13, but I just think it's corny and cheesy and tacky now. Whereas Braveheart, I can actually appreciate Braveheart more so because there are less pretensions that to the degree it can be enjoyed as a straightforward Mel Gibson action film. It's relatively likable, and it does have nice production values for what it's worth. I think it's just a shame that it's as long as it is, and that it was burdened with being inevitably considered overrated and disappointing compared to its reputation as one of the potentially, in some people's eyes, you would think one of the great films of all time. As it stands, not awful.